Welcome back. This Thursday is World Heart Day, and residents across the area will be out in force for the 2022 Ohio Valley Heart Walk. The American Heart Association says that even a single story can inspire, teach, and provide hope for millions affected by heart disease and strokes. Dr. Michael Campsey is the chief of cardiology at Wheeling Hospital. On November 17th of 2021, he suffered a stroke while he was exercising at home. Now he's back to work and serving as this year's Heart Walk chair. This is his story.
And next thing I know, I'm on the ground playing with my hand, trying to figure out, like, why won't my fingers move? Why won't my hand move? And it's dead.
What started as an ordinary day for Dr. Michael Campsey turned into a morning he will never forget. Partway through his morning exercise, he suffered a stroke.
It was called a cryptogenic stroke, which is a stroke that basically means you don't know where it came from.
He quickly realized that something was very wrong.
I got off the bike, it felt, okay, went over to start doing some calisthenics, and I remember looking off to the right, and my hand just was not doing what I wanted it to do.
Campsey had to crawl across the ground with one arm. He banged on a metal gate to make enough noise for his wife, Katie, who was upstairs, to hear him.
And then I realized, well, my arm's not working, and these funny noises are coming out of my mouth, like ma, ma, ma. And at that point, I'm sure that I knew that I was having a stroke.
The paramedics arrived and immediately called for a helicopter to get him to WVU.
And I distinctly remember, this is tight. This is a tight fit. And so I know that having a stroke, like the stroke that I had, does not make your claustrophobia go away.
After making it to the hospital, Campsey says he went through a variety of tests so that his doctors could figure out what was happening. After just 2 days, he received some very welcome news.
They told me I might get to go home the next day, which I thought was pretty amazing. I mean, I'm only 2 days into a major stroke, and they're going to let me go home.
After returning home, Campsey began his road to recovery.
The first time I met with a speech therapist, I couldn't mention, she asked me to mention like as many vegetables as I could in a minute. I think I got like 5. But by the end of that, I could, go on and on about vegetables or whatever she wanted me to.
Dr. Campsey's right hand was significantly affected by the stroke, so he practiced hand therapy to work on his fine motor skills. But the most challenging part of his recovery came about 6 weeks out, the onset of anxiety.
That was challenging, definitely very challenging. First thing I tried was meditation, got online, looked up a meditation program for anxiety and started that, and that helped a little bit.
Campsey says he felt like he had lost his confidence, so he began meeting with a therapist in Wheeling, which he says helped him a lot.
He ultimately said that, among other things, I was suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, which I wasn't really sure that I bought that.
It wasn't until recently that Dr. Campsey heard PTSD described as when anything happens to you that you don't want to happen to you. After that, he says it began to make a lot more sense. Despite that, his recovery moved along quickly.
I felt well enough to go back to work at 3 weeks. And I went back to work at 3 weeks. I'm not saying I would do that again. I think it was way too early. But I had to get out of the house. I needed something to do.
Campsey says that strokes can happen to anyone and that it happens more often than you think. His advice is to eat as well as you can, maintain a healthy weight, exercise, get enough sleep, and keep an eye on your blood pressure, blood sugar, and cholesterol. When asked if his healthy lifestyle leading up to the stroke allowed him to recover as quickly as he did, Dr. Campsey said simply, no doubt. The 2022 Ohio Valley Heart Walk is this Thursday at Wheeling Park. Check in at 5:30 with the walk beginning at 6. We have a link to register for the event over at WTRF.com. I will also be emceeing that event. And now, let's send it on over to Zach.